In the early days of his career, a young Steven Spielberg produced a horror film for a televised movie called Duel, starring Dennis Weaver. And it's pretty much Weaver in the whole thing. And it's one of these things where the simplicity of it is advantage, and where it's the less is more certainly applies here as this plays out, of this man who is just being hunted by, for all intents and purposes, a monster. It's another man, but still. And the fear and the isolation and all of that plays in, and it's all within the performance and the shots and everything. Spielberg was in full command of his ability to frame and demonstrate this with not much else. You had the vehicles, you had the stunts that they had to perform for the payoff and everything like that, but for the rest of it, for the most of it, it's very simple, and yet great film. I've always been captivated by it, and it shows you, well, boy, this kid's going somewhere. So Duel is very simple. It's this salesman who's on the, I can't even remember exactly. I'm sure he said where he's going. But he's traveling salesman. He's on his way to an appointment of some sort, and it's this long expanse road in the west, and he's long drives where there's literally nothing in between, little towns and little diners and stuff like that. Well, as he's going, and he's listening to the radio and stuff like that, and then there's this truck that he comes upon, and the exhaust from the truck is like bothering him, and so he's gonna pass him. So he does. Well, apparently, and this is it. This is all there is. There's no explanation, and this is the one where it actually makes it far more scary, in the fact that you really never know what the hell this was about, because this is all told through the victim here, or the survivor. Spoiler, he survives, Weaver's character. So it's a very simple thing. He passes the truck. So the truck catches up with him and passes him, and he's like, damn it, what? And he's trying to get around. He won't let him, and he's dodging him, and he's like, oh, man, this asshole, and all that sort of thing, And then finally the truck seems to relent and starts, you see an arm, and it is waving him on, go ahead, go. And so, yeah, finally, you're finally going to be a gentleman here, aren't you? Well, and he turns around, and he's going to pass the truck, and then here comes this other vehicle, and the horns blowing, and he just barely makes it back before being hit. And that's when he realized, this guy tried to kill me. And then there you are for the rest of the film. And so there's constant scenes of tension. You think, well, he's out of it now. Whoever that crazy bastard was, he made it. He's at this diner. He nearly crashes his car at that point, but he manages to seemingly escape this threat. And then, nope. It's just, and there's Hitchcockian-like approach to this as well, of certainly suspense and the tension that you begin to feel the knots it had to have been tying up in Weaver's stomach, or his character anyway. And well, sometimes it's like, because you hear his thoughts in some of the moments where he's thinking about this and he's looking around, and would it have worked silently? I suppose, but it doesn't take away from it. So you hear him speculating, because while he's seemingly in the safety of the diner, he cleans up and he decides he's going to get something to eat and all that. And then he looks out the window, and there's the truck. It's like, oh no. And then he was in the restroom, so the monster, the killer, is got to be one of the guys in the, that kind of thing. And the paranoia as he's looking around. And it's on that edge through the whole thing. It's like you can't catch a break. And there's several things go wrong as he tries this, he tries that, trying to evade this guy. He seeks help elsewhere, but at this point, the guy is determined to kill him. Whatever the problem is, we'll never know, but it's clear what he wants. He wants this guy dead. And he smashes up this other place with his truck, and the chase is back on, and so on. It goes on and on. He, of course, starts to have car trouble, and the car's been through a lot. So it's not, it's like, oh, well, what a convenient plot device. No. He's pushing this car to the limit, but but it's also about he's the prey, and how do I survive? How do I escape? How do I get back at this asshole? What can I do? And well, he figures out something, and ultimately it comes down to it, and it actually works. And so it's excellent for tension. It's never dull. When it slows down, it's deceptive. You think it's slowing down, but no. It is just, this is sheer terror. This is horror. This is someone is trying to kill you. And that's the elements of this horror movie. It is what it is. There's no supernatural unless it's the devil driving the truck, but no, there's nothing of that nature. It's just some nut. For whatever reason, this guy passed him and it pissed him off, and that's it. Unless there's a string of, I don't know, dead traveling salesmen on the side of the road somewhere, all smashed up because this guy's just, he just said, who's this pussy? I'm going to teach him some manners. I don't know. But that's part of that mystery and that element that you never know. You don't know why. Which, how many times are there these horrible murders, and why did he do? Sometimes there's some money or something involved, or there's jealousy over a girlfriend or whatever. But other times, there is no answer, not really, other than evil. And that's basically the only conclusion you can come to here, which, again, of course, reinforces the terror of this horror film. But, a lot of horror films, it's always a good feeling to see the monster get what's coming to him. And so he does, Not sure. He's still in the middle of nowhere. He's got a long walk to get back to civilization for our hero here. But he'll make it all right. He went on to do the McCloud TV series. He was Thad on Gunsmoke and everything. So, yeah, it works out. But, and I forget the other work Spielberg had done up to that point. But this was a major step forward onto the greatness that he would achieve in filmmaking. And he really knocked it out of the park with this. As simple as a lot of its elements are, it's very strong, very solid. A great, great film. Duel.